Remember, there's some pretty important information here in the disclaimer. You might want to give the video a quick pause and read it.
Oh, hey everybody, it's me, Sonic! Sonic the Hedgehog! Just here to remind you that if you haven't already, make sure to hit that like button. And for even more amazing customs, don't forget to subscribe to Wake Angel 2001! Because between you and me, they're way past cool!
Hello my friends, this is Wake Angel 2001 coming at you with a video that I'm sure a lot of you are excited to see. It is my own personal OC, Angel the Dog, in his Arisen form, created by Courtney, also known as the very popular VTuber SNT. Now, the base figure could only be one guy. It was, of course, My Hero Academia's Endeavor. Yes, because only his muscular physique could truly capture the essence of Angel the Dog. No, I'm kidding. It was Bob Belcher, but it is made by the same toy company. Yeah, the Loyal Subjects action vinyls. I just kind of find it amusing that they make such wildly different characters. They're becoming the pop vinyls now because they're like licensing so many different things. Also, the Bob Belcher figure has an advantage in that he has functioning elbows. Not a lot of the Loyal Subjects action vinyl characters have elbows, but Bob is one of them, and that's pretty cool. Of course, there was also some 3D printed parts that went in here. The head is the same model that I used to make my Jazzwares version of myself, except that it's been scaled up. And he has boots, which originally started out as silvers, but I used I basically cut off the cuffs at the top. This would allow me to. This had a dual purpose in that it made them the right height to attach to Bob's legs, and also it allowed me to redesign them a little bit more to be like, you know, the boots that SNT gave me, which are supposed to be more similar to like painter's boots. It goes in with the whole artistic aesthetic. Although it kind of creates the impression that I'm not really painting for artistic purposes and more like I'm painting the sides of houses or something. But you know what? That's fine. Boots are cool. Lots of Sonic characters wear boots. So, in order to attach the boots to the legs, I cut off most of Bob's foot, just leaving the little peg intact so that I could stick it into the leg. This would ensure that my figure would still have the ankle swivels and the assistance in standing that could provide. And then I sculpted in the transition to cover the part where, you know, the boot cut goes, so that it doesn't look crappy. I also sculpted certain details like the lace design, and the sock cuff, and of course the little shorts. Because when SNT designed my character, she decided to give him some pants to wear because how did she put it?
I'm naked. He needs pants.
And so that's why he has pants. Of course, I'm not really sure if they were really that necessary. After all, the redesign had an apron. I mean, it's not like if I was wearing the apron but not the pants, things would be interpreted any differently. Or maybe. You're all welcome, by the way. Okay, so moving on to the rest of the body, Bob Belcher has a good helping of dad bod going on there, which doesn't quite look like the avatar from Sonic Forces, although admittedly it does match my real-life physique a little bit better, so in a kind of meta-contextual way, this actually is a more accurate representation of me than the Forces avatar could ever be. Of course, you don't really get to appreciate that gut because the apron will be covering it, of course. Yes, I did choose Bob Belcher to make this custom because he came with this perfect little apron that was one repaint away from being the artistic smock. And yeah, just like when I saw that Louise, I said, oh, well, that's just cream right there. I looked at Bob and says, oh, hey, there's my Arisen form. I just need to cajole it into looking more like him. Now, ideally, I would have liked to have the holding thing hand that the Sonic figure has, so that I could put the paintbrush spear in, but I don't have any spare parts for that right now. And perhaps at some future date, when I have a bunch of spare Sonic figures that I'm just plucking parts off of here and there willy-nilly, I'll have a holding thing hand I can swap out. But for now, these hands came from the Jazzwares modern and classic Sonic statue set that they released as a little diorama around the time that Sonic Generations came out. They are the modern Sonic figure hands, which are pretty ideally suited for a 4-inch scale figure because that statue was 4 inches tall, or at least 4-inch scaled. And all that left was the little wings, which kind of float behind the character, so they can't really be too attached. I opted to just cut them out of some craft foam so they'd be nice and lightweight, and then attach them to a wire, which I coiled around a peg, which I drilled a hole into the back of the figure for so that you could just stick them on there. So technically they're a removable accessory, unlike the crown, the halo, which is just a 3D printed a 3D printed ring, which I glued onto the ear at a jaunty angle to be that, it just kind of looks like it's floating there, kind of a forced perspective thing. Since you don't see the stick connecting it to the head, it makes it look more like it's not actually physically attached. Kind of my clever thing to do. So with all that said and done, that is the Angel the Dog Arisen form figure. He still retains all of Bob Belcher's articulation, waist joint, pin disc shoulders, 90-degree elbows, wrist swivels, ball-jointed hips, 90-degree knees, and ankle swivels. So he actually has slightly better articulation than the Jakks-specific Sonic figure itself. Although, that's mostly because Sonic doesn't have any elbows at all, although to its credit, Sonic does have pin disc knees, while my character only has regular knees, so, there is that. So with that being said, it is time for some fan art, because I promised a fan art showcase here. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at some fan art. Okay, let's start the fan art with this hilarious thing. Last night the SNT stream was about this, infomercial thing. SNT was reacting to some hilarious infomercials that had been released over the years, and it reached a part where they were talking about the Sonic knife, which, they were using it to do all kinds of interesting slicing things, and, this weird thing that I'm guessing is made out of, pineapple and some strawberries. I have no idea what that is. I'm pretty sure that's a pineapple, or perhaps a mango? I'm not sure. But it looked really silly, and she said that it should be someone's OC, so I kind of drew it as if that was, a Mobian-style head. So, whatever it is, it has, plates on its head, and it has stripes coming out of its eyes, like some kind of demented clown. And I think the things coming out of its chin, I can't decide if it's funnier if they're little beard points, or if he has chitinous little, whatever ants have, like those little chompy bits, the mandrakes. No, not a mandrake. A mandrake is a different thing. Anyway, I just drew that to try and incorporate a little bit more of SNT into this, because SNT is kind of the reason why this whole thing exists in the first place. So let's get into the proper fan art that people submitted. Okay, so first up is this one made by Jimmy Jackson. That's pretty cool looking. I was actually surprised how fast this guy did this. He was the first one to submit. I have credited him. Apparently, Jimmy Jackson 23 is his Reddit handle, so I don't know how to browse Reddit. I'm an old man. I get my Reddit content by watching YouTube compilation videos, so I have no idea how the Reddit website itself actually works. I remember going there once and getting lost in the interface. I really don't know how most of the kids' websites work these days. Although, to be fair, I never really figured out how to work Facebook either, so, just anything tangentially related to social media pretty much goes beyond my grasp, I suppose. Up next was Sparklewolf 404. I know Sparklewolf is a repeat commissioner of mine, and they decided to go with the He-Man reference. I have the power, He-Man. That's hilarious. I kind of love the fact that the paintbrush spear has effectively become the sword of power. Let's see. If He-Man has the power of Grayskull and She-Ra has the honor of Grayskull, by the masonry of Grayskull, because I'm empowered by art. Oh yes. Oh, Sparklewolf, you are very amusing. Then this guy, the Levine. I think that's how I'm supposed to pronounce that. The Levine. I actually really like this because it's just so dog-like. Like, look, he has a little paintbrush in his mouth, like he's fetching it for his master. That is just so cute. And I also like this slanted vector style art. I could never bring myself to draw like this because I was never good with abstract forms. So whenever I actually see other people do it, it's like, it kind of has that whole Butch Hartman appeal, you know, like from the Nicktoons, like Danny Phantom and Fairly Odd Parents, like these abstract forms, which would only make sense from one perspective, but they somehow make it work in sequential art, and it's an art style that I've never been able to master myself, and I admire it in other people, is what I'm trying to get at. Also, I laugh at the much more dog-like nose. It actually has the moist rhinarium and shape that a dog nose has, instead of the little bean that sticks out of a Sonic character's face. Okay, Woomy128 had a pretty nifty idea. Look at that. It's basically kind of like a setup on the cover of Sonic Generations with Classic Sonic running next to Modern Sonic, except Classic Sonic is the original version of my character with the big hair all over and the Mickey Mouse shoes, while the modern version is the Arisen form. And it's kind of also meta-narrative because, like, since the Arisen form was made in the Jack scale, while my older figure was made in the Jazzwares scale, that means that the Arisen form figure is taller than the older figure, in kind of the same size ratio that modern and classic Sonic would be next to each other. That's amusing in and of itself. And he also had a second one put up. I'm assuming that this is how he chooses to represent his avatar in Sonic Forces, and yeah, you know what? That particular set of tights with the goggles does kind of give off some Frozone vibes. I get it. I totally get it. And oh yeah, that's a Chow backpack. Right, there is a Chow backpack you can select in the game. I almost forgot about that. For the longest time, I thought that was a sleeping Chow. I swear, I just now recognize that as the Chow backpack. Silly me. Then we got this guy from Newgrounds. I'm super happy to get someone from Newgrounds because that is my youngest gallery. I only recently started posting on Newgrounds, and I think the past year and a half. So the fact that I've actually attracted some people from Newgrounds who actually like me well enough to draw fan art is kind of a thing. That's nice. It's great. Although as one of my newer, I'm assuming Shinsukimi 205 here, it must be a newer fan because I take every opportunity I can to bring up my left-handedness, and he drew the paintbrush spear in my right hand. Although this is a pretty action-oriented pose, so it could kind of be like I'm passing it between my hands as I'm swinging it around myself like a ninja flinging around his bow staff. You know, like gotta have your hand on both sides of your weapon, especially when you're doing something cool with it. But yeah, I really like the action-oriented pose, and I love the fact that my newer art galleries where people haven't had much time to get familiar with me are still coming in. Yeah, totally like that. Then this guy's a Twitter user, Slim Cognito. Here's the thing, I always try to avoid Twitter as much as possible. Like, I only visit Twitter every now and then when an artist I like posts something on it. So, like, if an artist doesn't post a link to their work, I don't go there. I never voluntarily go to Twitter myself, and I've never registered an account on it. And given how you're always hearing like the worst things about humanity nowadays come from interactions on Twitter, like I mean, yes, some of these people were terrible, and Twitter merely exposed their terribleness, but there's also a significant number of people whom Twitter seems to make terrible. So, like, I just choose to avoid that place as much as possible. I do not actually want to become a member of Twitter. Those of you who are on Twitter, like, I congratulate you for managing to retain your humanity, assuming that you have, because I honestly don't know if you're actually a pretty. I mean, this guy's one of my fans, so he must be a pretty stand-up guy, right? So, but yeah, like he's in an environment where people are probably not likely to be very good. Yeah, but then again, this isn't about how terrible I think Twitter is. This is about how great I think this art is. And I will notice the inside of the ear is flesh colored like my muzzle. I remember when SMT was doing the art stream and she was designing my character, the inside of my ear was left a darker blue color. And at first I thought that that was just a shading, but no, it's like she actually made that an intentional color choice. So I brought it up at the end of the stream, and she said that she did that on purpose. So I said it was fine. And, you know, it's good. But, yeah, this guy actually colored the inside flesh colored, so, you know, there's that. Which brings us to the last one. Some of you who saw my last unboxing video probably recognize this one. It was the fan art that was actually submitted physically, like, in a frame and everything. So, it's my character in his Arisen form, with SNT by his side. Of course, that's SNT's more classic appearance before her personal redesign. Although her redesign was relatively recent, so I would understand why he didn't have time to actually incorporate it. But he said that he wanted to go with a pseudo-manga-esque Dragon Ball style, which is why it's only partly colored and the rest is grayscale. And apparently the on the side where you see the Japanese writing, it says Angel X SNT. Specifically not in the shipping sense. It's the X is there like as a substitute for a space, I'm assuming, like in Hunter x Hunter or Spy Family. Like I'm assuming that that's what the X is supposed to be. It's like Angel SNT, like that kind of thing. So yeah, like this is the last piece that got submitted to me, and like I said, this one was physically mailed to me, which is impressive in its own right. I took a picture of it with my camera to try and stay as true to the appearance as possible. If I tried to scan it, then all those pencil lines probably would have looked terrible. So yeah, this has been the fan art showcase for the Angel the Dog Arisen form video. But if you didn't get to submit any of your fan art, don't feel bad. If you want to submit your fan art, I'll do it. I'll put it up in future videos. So, you know, my commission wakeangel2001@gmail.com email, the one where people can commission me. You can also submit fan art there if you want. Just put in the subject of the email that it's fan art so that I know. Or if you just want to provide a link to your fan art, and so that I can backtrack it to your gallery or something. Or if you just want to hit me up with a note or a personal message on any of my galleries, like DeviantArt, Newgrounds, or that kind of thing, then all that is perfectly valid to submit. I think the one thing that I would recommend against would be trying to post links to your fan art in the comments, because first of all, I don't get alerted to all of those, so there's the chance that I might miss it entirely. And second of all, I don't think YouTube likes it when links are posted in comments. I think that the algorithm kind of automatically filters those as spam, and I don't want the YouTube to think that you're posting spam, because from what I understand, that could only be bad for you. So yes, thank you all for watching this video. Special thanks to everybody who submitted the fan art, and we'll be seeing you on the next Wake Angel 2001 video. Thank you all for watching.